Hi there, it's Bibi Cameron here. Welcome to another video. Today I will be showing you how I effortlessly do multi-stamping using the Tim Holtz Stamping Platform and Distress Oxide Inks. I will be making one layer card like this one and coordinating envelope. I'm also going to be using this beautiful stamp set called Sending Flowers by Simon Says Stamp. This stamp set has been designed to stamp envelopes, but I'm going to be making a card today. And I'm also going to be using this stamp set called Sweet Sentiments Teacher by Sugarpea Designs. I'm going to use an A4 sheet of cardstock. This is Saracen cardstock by Stampin' Up! And I'm going to cut it in half and I'm going to score it in half to create my card base. When I'm stamping directly on the card base, I like to place a piece of paper underneath my card to avoid getting ink on the back of the card. So the paper is going to absorb the ink and I'm going to keep the back of my card clean. Now I'm going to start stamping with Distress Oxide Broken China. I'm going to use a clear block and I'm going to be using Sending Flowers stamp set by Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to use this stamp here, which is the grid stamp in the set, and I'm going to place it on the block just like that, and I'm going to start stamping until the stamp doesn't have more ink. Then I'm going to ink my stamp again and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to move my hand up and down the paper so that I can create a kind of irregular pattern just like that. Another thing you can do to stamp this, ink your stamp and slide the stamp on the cardstock, so you will create more thicker lines. Like so. So when you are happy with the stamping, you can go and do lines in the other direction. So you get a very and quick texture at the background. And I also wanted to show you a couple of ideas of things you can make with stamps like this. You can create a perfect grid. So just stamping like that. I'm not doing it perfectly, it's just to show you, it's just an example. And you can create another kind of textures as well. And something I have been doing recently a lot is twisting my stamps to create with them different shapes. So perhaps I can make a rainbow with this. This is not a perfect rainbow, it's just an example, just to show you how versatile can be a stamp like this one. Okay, so now I'm going to get back to my project. And I'm going to place the card base on the platform. And I'm going to be using this floral stamp here from Sending Flowers stamp set. And I'm going to place it there in that corner. I'm going to move the Tim Holtz platform like that, so you can see better what I'm doing. And I'm going to ink the stamp with Distress Oxide Warm Lipstick ink. And I'm going to stamp this image a couple of times. I'm going to clean the stamp. And I'm using here the stamp Chamois by Lawn Fawn. This is amazing to clean the stamps. A friend sent it to me and it's amazing. All you have to do is to add water and keep it in a container like that, and it will be ready to go the whole time. I was using before wipes and a microfiber cloth, and I noticed that they leave some fibers on the stamps, and sometimes when you stamp you see all those fibers in your artwork, and that's not ideal. So the stamp Chamois really make a difference when it comes to talk about cleaning stamps. So now I'm going to use Distress Oxide Pillet Paint. This is a green color. And I'm going to apply it just on the leaves and the little stems of the flowers like so. I can clean any excess of ink on the stamp and I'm just going to stamp. I'm going to do this twice because I'm stamping on the pink ink that I applied before. So you can see that the green ink has covered somehow that pink ink. You don't need to stamp apart the colors, you just overlay the colors. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp this other flower in the same way I just stamped the previous one. It's something very important to tell you. I wasn't doing it because when I'm making a video, I'm always more worried to see if it's filming or many other things than making my card. Is placing the magnets near the image you are stamping to keep the cardstock steady. So now I'm going to do exactly the same, and you will see that the cardstock is not going to lift from the platform, just because I was putting the magnets too far from the area I'm stamping. And I'm going to do that exactly the same as I did before. I'm going to use this stamp here to stamp the center of the flowers. And if you notice, I'm placing the stamps at the center of the platform so that I can move the paper to one side or the other and I don't have to move the stamp. I'm using here Fossilized Distress Oxide ink. And now using the same stamp in the same place, I'm going to be using Distress Oxide Spiced Marmalade ink just to add a little bit of contrast there. So I'm moving my cardstock to the other side and I'm going to stamp the centers of the flowers. Something I want to show you about this platform is that I noticed some improvement. And this is regarding the transfer of the ink on the lid of the platform onto your project. I applied that ink there and not even the magnet got the ink. This lid is removable, and if you see here, it has this kind of bar, so I don't know how to say that, like a channel there that will avoid the whole lid to go over your artwork, so the ink on the lid will never be transferred to your work. It's easy, very easy to clean, and it's very easy also to set to different kind of stamps. I'm playing here with the clear setting, but it also have a rubber setting, so you can use also the platform with rubber stamps or clean stamps. Now I'm going to keep stamping this, and I'm going to use this beautiful stamp set by Sugarpea Designs. It's a teacher theme stamp set, and I just love this sentiment so much. It's so true. So what I'm doing here is trying to align the sentiment in that space between the flowers, and I'm making sure this is straight. The lid of the platform also allows me to do that, and I'm going to stamp with warm lipstick Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to do this 3 times. Then I'm going to apply Distress Candied Apple ink, which is like a red ink. And with this ink, I'm going to add contrast only to the word heart. And I'm going to do it 3 times as well. Now I'm going to clean the stamp, and I'm going to make sure that the stamp is dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to use Post-it notes like so, just to cover the words I don't want to get inked. I'm going to apply black Simon Says stamp ink, remove the Post-it note and stamp. And I'm going to do that a couple of times as well. And now I'm going to do the same with the other part of the sentiment. Just want the word heart in red color or pinky color, so the rest of the sentiment should go black. So there you go. This card is almost finished. It's really simple. I'm sorry because the video tends to be a little bit long, but I want to explain you some details here and there, and that makes the video a little bit longer. I'm also going to stamp some hearts using the platform because I want to stamp 3 times in the same place. And I don't want to do this by hand because I already tried and I spoiled a previous card. So once I finish all the stamping, I can add some finishing touches with this Nuvo brush script pen, and all I'm going to do is just adding some lines around the center of the flower like so. I could also add ink to the stamp, but I noticed that it was time consuming, and this is a quick card. Despite I already say I'm taking a lot time to explain you how I make it. It's a really simple project, and when I post this on my blog, I never thought about making a video because I thought it's so easy. But I know that even when you make something easy, or we as car makers make something really easy, people want to know exactly how easy it is. So now I'm sharing that. But to be fair, this is easy because I'm using a stamping platform. It will be a little bit challenging if we have to use a Stamp-A-Magic or eyeballing. So perhaps if you haven't got a stamping platform, this video might give you an idea of how useful this could be for stamping. Okay, so I finished applying this Nuvo brush script. This is a water-based product. And now I'm going to use another water-based product, which is a Nuvo shimmer pen. This is very similar than Wing of Stella, and I also love it, but you have to be a little bit careful when you are using this pen on this kind of cardstock because it tends to distress the ink. My advice to get that shimmer of this pen is just applying the ink of the pen on the center of the image, and it will distress a little bit towards the edges, but it's not going to overpass the edges. Once I finish applying the shimmer pen, I'm going to add more sparkle with Nuvo glitter accents. This is AZTEC Gold. It's my favorite drops, golden drops from Nuvo, but you can also use any of the Nuvo drops you have in your stash. I also use this product very often in my cards because it's easy to apply and it provides also a very nice finishing. So the card is finished, and now I'm going to make the envelope. So to make the envelope for this card, I'm going to need a 12 by 12 inches sheet of paper, ideally paper. I don't have paper in this color, so I'm going to use cardstock just for the demonstration, but it will be ideal to get envelopes or paper in this color. I'm going to use a guillotine to cut the paper at 8 inches and a half by 8 inches and a half. And then when the paper is ready, I'm going to use the envelope punch board to make the envelope, and I'm going to punch and score at 3 inches 3/4. I'm going to follow the scoring lines to create the new scoring lines and give shape to this envelope. I'm also going to use the punch in the back of the envelope punch board to round the corners. And once I have the envelope ready, I'm going to stamp it in the same way I stamp the card. I'm going to use this paper here just to protect that part of the envelope because I just want to get this flap stamped. Now I'm going to use an average big shot to create a decorative edge for this envelope using this die here. This die is from Concord and 9. Previously made another envelope, which is this one in the picture, but to make an envelope like that you might need a template. As I wanted to make my envelope using the envelope punch board, I just die cut a piece of cardstock like I'm doing here, and then I stamp it and I simply paste it on the envelope I made. So that was the way I do it initially. But I have to recognize, and as I said before, because I'm using cardstock to make this envelope, the envelope is too thick and you might need also a lining, and it's not going to look so neat and nice as we like to. So I would rather prefer to make envelopes like this one here in just one layer if we are using cardstock. So I'm speeding here the camera because to stamp the envelope, I did exactly the same that I did to stamp the card. I just wanted to show you a small variation, and it's that I'm twisting the stamp a little bit just to try to give it the shape of the edge of the envelope. You can do that as well with some long clear stamps and also with some clean stamps. And when I'm twisting the stamps, sometimes it's easier to move the cardstock a little bit than the stamp that is already set on the platform. All I have to do here is just paying attention that the stamp doesn't shrink or move or untwist. So I'm stamping always in the same place. So that's the only variation when I am stamping the envelope, and I'm loving twisting my stamps because you can adapt the shape of the stamps or the floral patterns or lines or anything to each dies, which are so beautiful for projects. So when you are working with this stamping platform, you don't need to be always aligning the cardstock with the edges of the platform. You can go towards the center of the platform and move around the paper as far as you have the magnets properly set on top of that paper. So the paper is not going to move and you are going to be able to stamp over and over in the same place. So that's my envelope and there is my card. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, visit my blog for more ideas and inspiration, or to order products anytime. In my blog there are some links. All of them are affiliate links, so when you buy through those links, I get a small commission and not extra cost to you. All the links are also in the video description. You can just have a look around if you see some products you might like. And if you have any question, please leave a comment and I will be happy to answer as soon as possible. I'm also in Pinterest, Instagram, and I have a Facebook group to share creativity. So please feel free to join us. All the links are in the video description. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting. Bye!